Beyond the Red House, where we turn trauma into triumph and pain into purpose. I'm Kayla Valterno, author of I Was Once the Girl in the Red House, and I believe in the power of authentic healing stories. This is a space where your voice matters, your story heals, and your journey inspires others to break their own cycles. Whether you're just beginning your healing or years into building your new life, you belong here. Let's explore what it means to move beyond the red houses that hurt us and build the lives we actually deserve. Welcome back to Beyond the Red House. I'm Kayla and Happy New Year! Today, the day this episode comes out, is January 1st, 2026. Crazy. And I just wanted to talk about something that genuinely changed my life this past year. And this might sound silly, but I had a phrase for the year. Not resolutions that can get abandoned by February, not a long list of goals that make you feel guilty when you don't achieve them, but one simple phrase that guided my decisions and reminded me what I was working towards. So in 2025, my phrase was carpe diem, seize the day. And I truly felt like having that phrase in the back of my mind all year long helped me in ways I could never have predicted. When I was scared to publish my memoir, I thought about carpe diem. So I did it. When I was hesitant to start this podcast, I thought carpe diem. When opportunities that came up made me nervous, when I wanted to play it safe, when I was tempted to stay small, I kept coming back to that phrase, seize the day. This is your life, don't wait. And look what happened. I published a book. I started this podcast. I put myself out there in so many ways that terrified me. I have done more healing work. I am a different person than I was January 1st, 2025. Mentally, I'm taking care of myself better. I'm no longer putting myself last. I'm showing up for myself in a way that I have never done before. And I'm not saying the phrase did that all by itself. It wasn't some magic phrase. I still had to do the work. I still had to push through that fear. I still had to take action. But having that was a reminder. And it kept me focused. It gave me permission to go after things that I wanted instead of waiting around for that perfect moment or until I felt ready enough. So as we welcome 2026, I want to share this practice with you. Maybe you've heard of having a word of the year before. Maybe this is completely new to you. Either way, I want to walk you through why this is so powerful, especially for us who are healing from trauma and breaking those generational cycles. Here's the thing about traditional New Year's resolutions. They're often rooted in shame. The I need to lose weight really means I'm not good enough as I am. I need to be more organized really means I'm a mess and I need to get it together. I need to save more money. What does that really mean? I'm failing at being a responsible adult. We set these goals from a place of self-criticism, and then we beat ourselves up when we inevitably fall short because life is complicated. But a phrase or word of the year is different. It's not about fixing what's wrong with you. It's about setting an intention for who you want to become and how you want to move through the world. It's not about shame. It's about growth. Definitely not about perfection. It's about direction. And for those of us with trauma, this distinction is very important. We've spent so much of our lives being told we're not good enough. We've internalized messages that we're too much, or not enough, or fundamentally flawed. The last thing we need is another thing to fail at. Another way to prove to ourselves that we can't get it right. So a phrase of the year is gentler than that. It's the guiding light, not a measuring stick. It's something you come back to when you're making decisions and when you're facing challenges. when you need to remember what you're working towards. And if you have a day or a week or a month where you forget about it or don't live up to it, that's okay. That's not failure. It's just information. It's a reminder to come back to your intention. So, let me tell you about my phrase for 2026. I am enough. This year, I am focusing on my confidence and imposter syndrome, which I talked about in my imposter syndrome episode. I'm focusing on my mental health and my physical health. And underneath all of that is this core belief that I'm working to internalize that I am enough, exactly as I am right now. Not, I will be enough when I lose weight, or I will be enough when I'm more successful, or I will be enough when I finally get my life together. I am enough right now, in this body, with these flaws, with this messy, complicated, imperfect life. This is huge for me. Because I've talked about in previous episodes, I struggle so much with feeling as if I'm not enough, with my imposter syndrome that tells me I don't deserve good things I have, with comparing myself to others and always coming up short, with doubting my worth and my abilities. So this year, I am practicing believing that I am enough. When that voice tells me that I'm not a real author, I'm going to come back to I am enough. When I doubt whether anyone wants to hear what I have to say, I'm going to come back to I am enough. When I'm tempted to shrink myself or play small or apologize for taking up space, again, I will come back to I am enough. And here's the physical and mental health piece. I am enough to deserve nourishment. I am enough to deserve movement that feels good. I'm enough to prioritize my mental health. Now, I want to help you find your phrase or word for 2026. If you're listening to this on New Year's Day, perfect timing. But if you're listening to this later, that's okay too. You can start this anytime. There's no deadline for setting this intention. Here's what to think about. What do you need this year? Not what you think you should need or what would make you look good to other people, but what do you really need? Maybe you need rest. Maybe your word is ease or gentleness or softness. Maybe your phrase is I deserve rest. Maybe you need courage. Maybe your word is brave or bold or fearless. Maybe your phrase is I can do hard things. Maybe you need boundaries. Maybe your word is no. No is a complete sentence. Or protect or choose, or maybe your phrase is my peace matters. Maybe you need joy in your life, and maybe your word is play or delight or celebrate. Maybe a phrase could be, I deserve happiness. Maybe you need more healing, and your word is growth or release or transform. And your phrase could be, I am becoming. Maybe, like me, you need to work on believing that you're enough. And your words could be worthy, valuable, deserving. Maybe your phrase is like mine, I am enough, or I matter, or I'm not too much. There's no wrong answer here. Your word or phrase is for you. I didn't tell anyone about my phrase until right now. It's not for Instagram. It's not for anyone else to understand or validate. It's the thing you need to hear over and over again this year. It's the reminder you need when things get hard or confusing or overwhelming. So sit with this question. What do I need to remember this year? What truth do I need to come back to? What intention do I want to guide my decisions? Don't overthink it. Sometimes the first thing that comes to your mind is what you need. Sometimes you'll need to sit with it for a few days. Sometimes you'll try one and it doesn't really work. And you'll adjust. That's okay. Once you have your phrase or word, here's to how do you actually use it. So what I did, for probably the first good 6 months of the year, I had it as my background. I had Carpe Diem as my phone background. But you could also do it as a sticky note in your bathroom mirror. You can maybe get one of those bracelets with the word engraved on it. Keep it in your journal. Keep it on your laptop, desktop. Just find a way to keep it visible so you don't completely forget it by March, let's say. And use it as a filter for decisions. When you're faced with a new choice, should I say yes to this opportunity? Should I set this boundary? Should I try this new thing? Ask yourself, does this align with my word? Does this support my intention? If I'm working on I am enough, does saying yes come from a place of enoughness or a place trying to prove my worth? Be gentle with yourself when you forget about it or maybe you're not living up to it. This is a practice, not a test. There's no test at the end of the year if you stuck to your word or phrase. Because my phrase, carpe diem, there were plenty of days I did not seize anything. I stayed in my comfort zone. I played it safe and I let fear win. But the phrase was still there for me to come back to, and it was guiding me over the course of the year, even when I wasn't perfect at it. And you want to check in regularly. Maybe you could journal about your phrase at the end of the month. How did you live this out? Where did you struggle? What do I need to remember going forward? It keeps it active and alive instead of just something you do in January. Here's what I hope for you in 2026. I hope you find a phrase or a word that resonates deep in your bones. I hope it guides you towards more healing, more peace, more joy. I hope it helps you make decisions that honor who you really are and who you're becoming. I hope you're gentler with yourself this year. I hope you give yourself permission to rest, to grow at your own pace, to be imperfect, to be human. And I hope you stop waiting to be ready enough or healed enough, good enough, and start living your life now. I hope you continue to break cycles, and I hope you keep choosing yourself. Even when it's hard, even when you doubt yourself, even when that voice comes back to tell you you're not enough. And I hope you come back to your phrase whenever you need it. On the hard days, on the days you forget why you're doing this, on the days you want to give up or stay small. Come back to your word or phrase and come back to your intention. Come back to the truth you've set for yourself this New Year's. For me, it's I am enough. And I'm going to spend this year proving to myself, not through achievement, not through perfection, but showing up as I am and believing that's enough. Taking care of my body and mind because they're enough to deserve care. Hearing my voice and my story because they're enough to matter. So here we are, 2026, a new year, a fresh start. Not in the sense that everything from the past is erased or that we're suddenly different people like people try to say, but in the sense that we get another chance to choose ourselves, another chance to set intentions, another chance to build the lives we deserve and want. I am so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're doing this work. I'm so glad that you're part of this community of people who are healing, growing, and breaking cycles together. Happy New Year. Here is to 2026. Here's to your word, your phrase, your intention. Here's to showing up for ourselves again and again, no matter what. And remember, you are enough. Right now, exactly as you are. And I will see you in the next episode.
Your healing matters. Your story matters. And you matter. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Red House. If you have a story to share or want to connect, email me at hello@kaylavalterno.com. Visit kaylavalterno.com for my book and resources to support your healing journey. Everything will be in the show notes. Keep building beyond whatever tried to break you. You are stronger than you know. This is Beyond the Red House.